If you don't want to work, it's fucking okay. You don't have to. And it's more than okay. My name, my age, all doesn't matter. I'm just somebody like you out there in the world who probably feels a lot like you do. I don't want to either. And that's why I don't. I'll tell you though, you will sacrifice a lot. The world won't have it with you without working. Being honest is probably the most fundamental thing that a human can do with themselves. Being authentic. But not just not work, because you're going to have things that you like to do. You're going to have things that you want to say. There's going to be things that you want to change in the world. Those things are worth doing. For one, it's fun. It's going to be fun for you. It's going to make you feel alive. It's going to inspire other people because they're going to see you doing what you love. And that's going to make them happy because you're happy. Just winging it, and I don't even know where I'm going. I'm just going. If somebody needed to tell you, when you say, I don't want to work, I want to be the one to tell you it's fucking okay. I don't blame you. What that means is that you're following your authentic self. You're being authentic to who you are. You could bounce around from work to work, and you can do that for years. I mean, if that's your passion, your hobby, and you're authentic about that, then that's great. But not everybody's going to be authentic to working at a warehouse. It's more than okay. And I think people should actually celebrate it when somebody says they don't want to work instead of frowning upon it. I think those days should be over. I think they are over. We're just in denial of it. So say right now you decided, fuck it, I'm going to put in my week's notice. You want to be respectful about it. So you're going to put in your week's notice, your 2 weeks notice, or your month notice or whatever into work. And you know that without a job, you're not going to be able to make your rent. Now what? Well, you have only a certain amount of time. You got to sell a bunch of shit. You have to sell you have to sell your things because you're leaving. You're not going to be able to have money for rent after some time. Now you have a bunch of money now because for one, you know that you're not going to pay your landlord next month, so you don't need to save up for that. So you'll have some extra money. You have a bunch of stuff in your house that you probably need to get rid of, that you probably need to let go of. You'll have some money from that. So you're going to be pretty well off. Just pick up and go. Because you're not going to have rent, you're not going to have bills, except maybe your phone. Pretty sure you're going to want that. And I would recommend keeping a phone. I think that tool should be free for everybody. And thank goodness for the Obama phones. I don't have one, but thanks goodness for them. Get yourself a dog, because even though it doesn't happen often, the world can get messy. Some unwanted moments. In that case, I would recommend having a dog. Unless you're skilled at what you do and you have some martial arts training, which I would also recommend. But goddamn, man, like that's what happens. That feeling you get is what happens every single day when you're working a job you don't like. It's like you're constantly missing waves because you don't have time for them. You don't have time to write them. You know what I mean? Because you're so busy trying to make it, keeps your attention away. So it's okay if you don't want to work. I don't blame you. In fact, I wish more people said it. And I wish more people did it. Maybe this is why I'm here talking to a camera, talking to a phone. And maybe that's why you're watching, because it's true. Maybe you don't want to work because you're not happy at it. And you might be authentically more motivated or inspired to do something else. You may not even know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, that's completely fine. Because you figure it out along the way, as long as you keep moving in the authentic space. As long as you keep moving with that authentic flow, being you and doing what you love. Eventually, it will find you. Do you know what I mean? It'll find you. Because it's in you. You may not consciously be aware of it, and so you might have to do this and then do that and then do that and then stumble upon what you really love and want to do. Not everybody wants to work, but they feel they have to. And so they strip their authenticity. In fact, I think their authenticity was stripped before they even got into Coco's, before they even got into the job. Because their parents told them, well, this is the way the world works, and you got to just kind of go with it. And that's really all we know, and that's really all you know. But the world is changing. There's a reason why people don't want to work anymore. And I think it's because unconsciously we're waking up to our own authenticity. And social media like YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, Instagram, and all of those are giving us an unconscious outlet. We're unconsciously waking ourselves up, walking ourselves awake slowly. There's a really cool term that I really like that I haven't heard it until the Celestine Prophecy, and it was like, it said something like, inspiration really means in spirit action. Inspiration, in spirit. If you've ever heard of busking, if you've ever seen those street performers out on Venice, on the Santa Monica Boardwalk or Venice Beach, you know, or Oceanside or something, where there's high volume of traffic, you'll see street performers pretty much anywhere. And sometimes you'll pass by them and whatever, you know what I mean? You just won't even bat an eye. Sometimes you'll take a little listen, but every once in a while, we'll stand there and you will watch them and you will see what they do. And somehow, some of these people might even evoke a certain emotion. Some of them might even inspire you. And when they finish, you'll be inspired to want to give. And so you tip them. You put money in their hat, and it's a beautiful day. Now, thanks to social media and everything, all the ideas and all the inspiration is coming through the phone, coming through the internet, coming through social media. We are giving each other this inspiration of feeling inspired to want to do what we want to do, what we truly want to do. That person was playing their guitar or juggling or whatever it is, or whatever flow they're doing. And that made us happy. So it's like, now it's my turn. I'm going to quit my job. And it's going to be okay. And I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to go and run with it and see where it takes me. No one's going to stop me because it's okay to not want to work. It's just one of those things, like it's okay to not, it's okay to not climb a tree today. I didn't know I had to, right? You know what I mean? Meaningless is having a job that you're doing every single day that means nothing to you. That is meaningless to you. That is living purposely, meaninglessly. And no wonder you're depressed. No wonder many people out there are depressed. Because they're not living authentically. They're not living in their authenticity. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to be miserable. People around you are going to be miserable. You're going to be stressed. You're just going to breed more in that world. It's going to be more stress in that world. So it's okay to not want to work. Go do something that you're proud of. Even if you have to wander for a little while. You know what I mean? Grab yourself a dog and head out. And head the fuck out, man. Because there's many jobs out there that have yet to be tapped into, that we didn't even know that existed. But you don't know it yet entirely. You may know it when you were growing up. Man, I wanted to do this. I wanted to be a veterinarian, right? And maybe your parents said, "Oh, that's not realistic. You know, you're just a kid. You'll know better when you grow up." And then you grow up, and then you don't ever become a veterinarian, but you still love animals your whole life, and then you die. But now it's different. Maybe you can be a veterinarian in a different way. Maybe you visited them all around the world. Maybe that was your job. A job where you got to know the creatures that you love, the animals that you love, and you got to be with them and travel at the same time, posting them on social media, and you got paid for it because of the content you produced and the ad revenue and everything. So you might be one of those lucky ones who knew right away when they were a small little kid, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. And if you're not one of those lucky ones who already knew from the get-go, knew it within themselves, then you might have to figure it out. And that's just as fun. Now you get to figure it out in a very creative, in a very deep way. And you'll never get to find out what that is if you don't quit your job. If you don't just follow your authentic self and say, fuck it, I'm not going to work today. Or I'm quitting my job in a few weeks. Sell all my things and just go. In a car or not, in a van or not. And I tell you, if you have a car and you don't have a job or a way of making money, the car will eventually break down. That's what's happening. That's what happened to me. And that's what happens to a lot of van lifers. They don't prep mentally about that. You can only do so much. You can only prep so much physically. So don't rely on even a car. You know what I mean? Because the truth is, no matter where you go, you're home here. That's what I tell my daughters. Wherever you are, there you are. You know what I mean? That's your home, right here. So don't be afraid, ever. Fear is a mind killer. You've heard that plenty of times. Everywhere online. You see, they're trying to inspire you. People are trying to post People are posting every day to get you to be inspired. Why is that? Because the world unconsciously wants to wake itself up to its own authenticity. And it's about that time. It's about that time. You know? Because what else are we going to do in this world? We're going to slave away and be miserable all fucking day? No, man. I'm not. I'm going to be out here, enjoying life, talking to you, try to inspire you to do the same thing. Eventually, everything, society in itself will correct itself. We don't have to feel like we're leaving it. We're not abandoning it. In fact, we're doing a service. We're doing God's work by quitting our job, by surrendering it and letting go of an old world, because it will figure itself out, just as I am figuring myself out. I have a message to share from this old world into the next, into a new, that I have no idea what will look like. I hope one day we'll get rid of money entirely. Any form of currency needs to go. That form of currency of give me money and I'll give you eggs. No, the chickens give us eggs. The technology allows it to run its course and hands it to you. We don't need money in this society anymore, but that's besides the point. We're using money now. We need to get with it. But we need to get with it in a new creative way in order to bridge from the old world into the new. So one way that we can do that is following our highest authenticity, following our highest self, and then going from there. So you quit your job, you sell your things, you have plenty of money to live like a king on the road, right? Maybe you buy a tent and a backpack. I mean, I'd like to say that this is more of a man's kind of life, more of a man's journey, but I'm sure women can do it too. Very specific type of woman, and she might even do it because I know somebody who does it. And the way they do it is they house sit. And so instead of having a tent or sleeping out in the wilderness or sleeping in a car, they go and they house sit for people, and they don't pay them anything. Their payment is sleeping at their house. And she lives rather luxuriously. Hostels are a thing, you know? And there's probably things out there that I can't even think of. Ways of being. You just have to throw yourself in it. You just have to just go, okay, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to go. And you go. And you see where it takes you. And you notice that it takes you here. And it gives you these thoughts and these ideas. And then all of a sudden you start to think more business-like all of a sudden. And then there you go, creating a somehow new business that wouldn't have otherwise existed if you didn't let go. If you don't want to work, more than okay. The worst is going to happen. You're going to end up roaming around, walking. Where you're going to walk to, things you're going to get into, that's up to you. That's all. It's all been up to you. This whole time. Do you know that? Yeah. This whole time. It was you. And me. Right? And this. This wasn't the whole time, actually. I didn't start picking up a phone camera and point it to my face so I can speak of something until after some time. Then I thought about it and I was like, whoa, I can make a journey about this, and I can post it online, and I can generate ad revenue. That's one way of maybe potentially making money. Why not? Let's try it. But that's just one way. There could be other ways. You can create a hiking group where you do certain things, who knows, and you charge people $5 for it, you know what I mean, and then you generate that a whole business surrounding that. I guess like you just don't know how it'll come. And that's what I want you to know. For one, it's okay to not want to work. For two, it's okay to wander and let itself figure it out. And for three, it's okay to want to still give to the world. Because that's what we do when we're working as a barista. What do we do when we're working When we're working a job, what are we doing? We're giving to each other, right? But instead of giving people coffee, or instead of working at a warehouse to organize things for people to get their products shipped to their house, we're giving people inspiration to live authentically. Whether you're a juggler out there on Santa Monica Boardwalk, or a guitarist making YouTube content or TikTok content or whatever, you are inspiring others to live their true authentic self, their true authenticity. And if everybody slowly let go of an old, outdated world, an old, outdated concept of working, imagine the inspiration that would come from within the society itself to create something different. If only we gave ourselves that time away from the mundane to feel and think about it, we would live a lot more in harmony with our authentic self collectively. And that will change the world. So fucking quit your job. It's fine if you want to. If you are called to do it, do it. That's it. That's my message. That's my duty. I love all of you. I love all of you so much, because really you're me. And we're all in this at the same time, here witnessing what is happening here. We are all here on this planet at the same time, in the same space and time. And you stumbled upon this. Like, come on, it doesn't get more perfect than that. Quit your job. Do what you love, authentically. And as you do that, the world around you will cater to that. They will become inspired by that. It may even want to give you money for your inspiration. But first, you gotta not be afraid. Captain, my friends, I love all of you. Viewers, subscribers, whoever you are behind this screen, behind this phone that I'm holding here. Do what you love. And what you love will eventually do you, I promise you. Whatever that means. Bye. I love you. Later.